Hey, YouTube, and I like to share my thoughts on my number one favorite band, Megadeth, retiring. Now, this is my fault. I believe they deserve to retire. Okay. Yes. Am I disappointed and sad? Yes. But I saw this coming a mile away because I knew they were going to retire soon. Um, and what's sad about this is because um there's not really any outs like like any modern rock and metal bands in my opinion, like currently, like in the year. Okay, not that true, there's still modern rock and metal bands that do stick out, um in my opinion, like bands like Warbringer, um Ginger, and bands like that that still that still stick out. And this is a bittersweet end for Megadeth because even though I am sad that they're retiring, I understand why Dave Mustaine wants to call it quits. Because let's face it, the guy in his 60s, he will be 80 in a couple of years. So yeah, he's thinking, okay, I am getting up there in age. Um, I'm getting up there in age. I can't do this forever. And he's probably thinking, yeah, I want to spend more time with my family. And yes, I agree that if that's the case, I agree with that. And and Dave Mustaine knows that, yeah, that he's getting up there age, he can't do that any longer. Certain now certain bands out there need to realize that their glory days as a rock star needs they didn't realize that their glory days as a rock star is over. I'm looking at you, Rolling Stones. Okay, nothing against Rolling Stones. I'm nothing against Rolling Stones. Okay, but I do believe they are still making music, and if that's the case, they need to retire. Okay, there are certain bands out there, or I should say, certain entertainers out there, um, are still trying to hold on to that rock star lifestyle. I'm like, no, you're. I hate to sound like a douchebag, but some of you rock stars are too old. Y'all need to call it quits. Okay, I know a lot of rock and metal fans do not want to hear that, but it's true. Okay, if you're 70 and 80 years old, still touring, you need to call it quits. Okay, that is the facts. Okay, if you're if you're old enough to be somebody's grandfather and you're still touring, making music, you need to retire. Okay, that is the fact. Okay, now going back to Megadeth. Um, I believe Megadeth deserved to retire because they had a good run. They're, they did have live. They did. I can't talk. They did leave a legacy of great music, and I think they deserve to retire. And Megadeth, um, Megadeth deserved to retire and yeah, and I believe Dave Mustaine probably deserved probably decided he's going to retire from music, um, to spend more time with his family. Now I do not know that he's going to retire from music like altogether, because he may work as a music producer or something like in that effect, but I believe he's retiring from touring music, from touring and making music, and I find out that they are retiring, that the band Megadeth is retiring, is because this is how I found out, was through a Facebook video, and the video it did use AI, to be honest, and I had mixed feelings on that. Talk about in the world, there's chaos, and I believe this new album would be somewhat political, not to the extent of dystopia, probably not that political, or their first, not the first studio album, but this Peace Cells album. It's probably not gonna be into that extent of political, or what's that other album that was supposed to be a Dave Mustaine solo album. I can't remember the name of it. The system has failed. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna be political to that extent, but I have a feeling that it's gonna lean to the very. It's gonna have a lot of political, a lot of songs that have a lot of political commentary in them, and that's what Megadeth is known for. And yeah, I'm disappointed that I'm sad and that they're retiring, but at the same time, I understand why, and I believe they deserve this. And some of y'all may wonder why does he keep on talking about Megadeth? I mean, Dave Mustaine and not the rest of the members of the band. Well, that's because Dave Mustaine is the face of Megadeth. Okay, let's be honest, he is. Okay, when when metalheads or normies hear the word Megadeth, Dave Mustaine is the first person that pops into people's head. Okay, it's just like any other metal or rock band where a certain member is the face. If you mention the band Fall Out Boy, most people who are fans of that band, they automatic, or just normies in general, the first person that pops in their head is their bass player. I can't remember his name, by the way. Or if you mention the band Skillet, uh, the first two people that pop in your head are the lead singer, John Cooper, and their drummer. I can't remember her name, by the way. Yeah, I'm a Skillet fan, and I can't remember the name of the drummer. The drummer. I know she's British, but I don't um, remember her name on top of my head. Let's say I believe they deserve this retirement, and they deserve, and Dave and the rest of the bands. Now, Dave Mustaine will probably not make music. When I mean by not make music, I mean he's probably not going to tour. Um, he may be make guest appearance on like a on like songs. So, for example, he may be like a for example, said band comes out with a new single and it'll say featuring Dave Mustaine. But I believe Dave Mustaine is probably not gonna be touring or making studio music. Now I could be wrong. Now the rest of the members, they may do like solo stuff or work with other bands, or they um may form um or they may form their own band. But for now, I don't know what's gonna happen, and I'm going to end right here, and that's my thoughts on Megadeth retiring. Yes, it's bittersweet, but I believe they deserve it, and I understand why they're retiring. And uh, um, that being said, I am ending this video right here. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to rate, subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye.